Wait, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a blueberry maple pancake latte from Mirabelle's.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's real good.
They never had that when I went there.
It's a summer special.
The place that I was getting mine from, to like the last day they'll have it is the end of July, but it's so good. Okay, Maggie,
Yes.
is this the best Disney Channel original movie musical? Something to think about. I'll take your early assessments and we can discuss further later.
Interesting. What other Disney musicals are there? Oh, High School Musical.
High School Musical, Camp Rock, Jump In, Hannah Montana.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Okay, so think about that.
Very good.
And on that note, growl power, Maggie. Growl power. This week's episode of my sister's favorite movie podcast is going to be Cheetah-licious because we are covering the Cheetah Girls. Woo woo!
Cheetah Girls.
Okay, so on today's episode, we're talking about the Cheetah Girls, which was released in August 2003, starring Raven-Symoné as Galleria, also known as Bubbles, Adrienne Bailon as Chanel, also known as Chuchi, Sabrina Bryan as Dorinda, also known as Doe, and Keely Williams as Aquanetta or Aqua. Now, why was this my pick of the week? This was my pick of the week because it was one of the movies of my Disney Channel generation, but I thought it would also, and I haven't revisited it in a long time. I remember watching it like maybe high school as a rewatch.
Yeah, I'm
But
kind
I
of like,
haven't
that's funny
rewatched
that
it
you're
since
like
then.
of a your generation because it would probably be more mine because you were probably little. Because 2003, I was 11.
Yes, but there were two more to come out, so I think I was like right on the like, you know, they were coming out as I was getting older. So then it was like they were replaying it a lot. So I think that was probably why. And then the other reason I picked it is because they obviously just recently announced the reboot. So it felt like very perfect timing to talk about this movie as we're gearing up for them to come back. Just a little bit of information about the reboot before we get into the movie. Raven-Symoné is returning. She's going to be an executive producer. Adrienne Bailon is returning. Sabrina Bryan is going to return small appearance. And then the two moms will be in it. And then Keely Williams will not be in it. Just some tea there. Okay. Now, let's get into...
Are we talking about that tea later or no?
We can discuss it. Do you have information on the tea?
I went down a rabbit hole for the tea last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like Kylie Williams, aka Aquanetta, is just trouble. Like she might be a little spicy in any situation she's been in professionally, that it's kind of put off people.
So, yeah, from my understanding, like, so Raven wasn't in the third Cheetah Girls movie, and she's talked about it. It was because, like, the girls were kind of cliquey.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think post Cheetah Girls, Raven and Adrienne Bailon kind of, like, went on to do their two things. Like, I feel like they're probably the two most well-known. And then Sabrina and Keely were, like, besties, apparently. And then I think they have had some sort of falling out since, like in the last couple, like Keely was like in Sabrina's wedding, like they were that close of friends, and I think they must have had some sort of falling out in the last couple of years for her to like really not be involved in the movie. And then I haven't seen anything about them hanging out, and obviously Sabrina has the podcast with the guy from Boy Meets World, so now she's kind of like making her comeback and like doing her big one, and like her name is out there again. So I feel like the three of them are kind of like a little more have their shit together, it seems. I don't know Keely's tea, but it just seems like she might have gone off the rails a little or something.
Yeah, and I heard that like things got intense on the filming of Cheetah Girls 2, that there might have been some like fisticuffs or almost fisticuffs with Raven and Keely, but it's all like rumors on what the instigator for that was.
That sucks.
Yeah. And apparently Sabrina Bryan is going to be in it, like, via Zoom. Like, they're going to, like, be, like, calling her in. I guess they're going to be like, hey, girl, where in the world are you? And she's probably going to be like, oh, I'm dancing here in Morocco or something. And they were like, they apparently offered that same kind of contract to Keely, and she was like, no.
Oh, T. Okay.
But there's just so much drama or, like, lore or something around it that, like, there's no real answer. I think
there was probably a lot of drama, and these girls were so young when they were filming it. What I will say is, like, I almost wish Sabrina was going to be in it more, because I feel like she really has, like, such a deep connection to Cheetah Girls, and, like, she talks about it on the podcast all the time. She's been doing the, like, Bop to the Top tours where she'll come on stage and, like, perform with Drew Seeley and stuff and, like, dance, and she talks about it all the time. And then she just dropped a dancewear line. Like, she started her own dancewear brand that's, like, loosely inspired by the Cheetah Girls, and, like, one of the prints is, like, all cheetah, and it's, like, supposed to be, like, dance, like, fashion athleisure in the middle kind of thing. And so I'm like, she cares a lot about Cheetah Girls. Like, she knows that was her big one, so, like, she, you know, wants to rep. So I'm glad she's gonna be in the movie. I think she could be in it more. I'm also happy that Raven is producing, even though, like, she wasn't in the third one, but we all know, like, I mean, we'll get into it, but Raven is the Cheetah Girls. And it's so Galleria of Raven to not be in Cheetah Girls 3.
Oh, like, it's like, then you go and do it, and I'm gonna bounce. And it's like, cut the drama, Galleria.
Okay. So on that note, I'll tell you my experience watching this quickly before we get into all this. This is one of my favorite rewatches we've done so far, actually. Of the 3 Disney Channel movies we've done, this one was my favorite. And
I was
Xenon, Tower of Terror.
Oh, Tower of Terror.
And this. I was on my phone, like, I was on my phone the least. I think of the Disney Channel movies I've revisited that I was like, I loved this one as a kid, High School Musical aside, because I will watch High School Musical, like, regularly. So, like, High School Musical aside, the ones I hadn't rewatched, this one, I was like, oh, it's just as good as I remember. Like, it was actually so good to me. I was having the time of my life. I cried. I was barely on my phone. And then I watched the second one because it came on after, and I was, like, sitting here, and then I looked at my phone, and, like, 45 minutes had passed. And I was like, oh, I'm watching this movie. So then I got in bed and finished it. Or
that's so good.
It. So, like, I was having the time of my life. Okay. On that note, let's get into the summary of the movie. So this is what Disney Plus had to share. The Cheetah Girls sing and dance their way toward that elusive record deal. Oh. I said, oh. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
I said, keep it very short.
They dance their way. Wait, they dance their way?
They sing and dance their way.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I pulled up on, like, Disney.com/movies. There's, like, a more in-depth description that I pulled that's like, connect to Disney Plus to watch the movie. So I pulled that description, which I think is a little better. As the Cheetah Girls, 4 New York teens, are gearing up to rehearse for the school talent competition, they're discovered by a famous record producer, Jackal Johnson. But Jackal wants to remake them into something they're not. Ultimately, the path to stardom challenges their friendship, and the girls must find a way to come together in order to achieve their dreams. Better, right?
Period.
Okay, on that note, before we get into the behind-the-scenes stuff on the movie, the reviews, etc., do you want to tell me about your experience watching the movie?
The first time I rewatched it, I was like, yeah, I remember this whole movie. And, like, I still knew all the words to all the songs. Like, and I haven't seen it in a really long time. I knew all the songs. Yeah. And I hadn't seen this in a really long time. And I feel like I was thinking about this last night when I watched it. I feel like my opinion on the movie, it kind of stays the same with how I felt when I was 11, I guess. But I always felt that this movie is so drama. Like,
it's
not
so
in a
drama.
way,
I love it.
But I've always been like, Raven is so drama. And, like, she, like, that's, like, just who she is. Like, I guess That's So Raven probably came after this, and I feel like...
So That's So Raven actually premiered this same year. So she was likely filming about the same time. Like this came out August 2003 and Raven started like earlier in the year 2003.
So like somebody saw something in her in maybe it was Xenon, but they were like, she's so good because she's unlike any kind of other entity that came out of the Disney Channel, or she almost maybe even set the tone for like the rest of what was to come because she's so kooky and drama. I love her.
Well, think about like the people they went on. Like I feel like at this time it was like this and Phil of the Future. Like Phil of the Future wasn't that crazy, and then they went on to do like she had Raven, and then after that it was like Zach and Cody, Hannah Montana, like Wizards of Waverly Place. Like they started casting people who were like bigger personalities, and Raven probably like set because like Hannah Montana, like Miley's crazy in that, especially in the early seasons. So like I think they were like they had a vision after Raven.
I know, because I'm like when I'm thinking about like Lizzie McGuire and even Stevens, like they were not like as snarky and fucking rude as the Disney Channel characters go on to be later. Like they're also mean to each other, and I feel like even more so like crazy behavior. Like Lizzie McGuire more so. Like I feel like there's a lot of like cringy middle school, high school stuff, but like the like I feel like there was like this motif of like people like dressing up in costumes or like impersonating people to like get into things. Like I feel like that was such a Raven thing of like putting on a character to do something, and I feel like that motif is used a lot in like Zach and Cody and Hannah Montana, and I think it's like definitely like Raven is a comedy actress, and I think they were like trying to replicate that, like who can be like she's a character actress. It's a shame that the Disney Channel stars like are not, at least in my knowledge, are not like nominated for Emmys, because I feel like Raven could have been nominated for an Emmy for That's So Raven.
That's So Raven. We should rewatch it, honestly. Let's start a That's So Raven rewatch podcast
Literally.
too, because everyone loves it. Anyone's parents you talk to, they're like, "Oh yeah, Raven's hilarious." And like pieces of this movie, like I can see Raven coming out. Like That's So Raven. Like how Raven used to always be like, "You nasty." Like I feel like certain things she says in this movie, it's very like Raven coded.
If he can't respect my art, he can't have my heart.
We're going to talk about that later. Okay, so let's get into the review rewind. We're going to talk about some of the like reviews that happened then, how the movie's received now. Okay, so this was a surprise hit. This was a tester movie. This was the first ever Disney Channel movie musical. Okay? So Disney was like, let's see if a musical will do well. So they were testing the musical concept.
It's not even a musical, though. It's just a movie with music.
Yeah.
Because I feel like their songs don't drive the story.
Yeah. I feel like at times, like maybe at the end, but that's a fair assumption. But I think because it's a musical group, like I feel like it's like Camp Rock adjacent.
Like, can people enjoy a movie that has so much music happening in it?
Basically, yeah. But they call it the first musical movie. And so that's to say it paved the way for creating High School Musical, Camp Rock, and Hannah Montana. And any other musicals they've done. There are many others, but like those are the, the hits. Okay? Something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a surprise hit. It did really well. For context, this movie came out like a month after the Even Stevens movie. The Even Stevens movie was coming off the run of the TV show. So you would think it would have like a ton of views, Even Stevens had 5.1 million views its premiere night. Cheetah Girls had 6.5 million views its premiere night. For a movie people had never heard of. They didn't know these like girls as the Cheetah Girls. In comparison, for Disney's highest rated movie musical premiere, High School Musical 2, which obviously it already had a following because the first one had come out, but High School Musical 2 had 17.2 million views. It's opening
That's crazy.
Night. Yeah, or its premiere night on Disney Channel. So like almost triple the Cheetah Girls opening. But I think High School Musical 1 was smaller. I think like 9 or 10 million, maybe. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, High School Musical 7.7 million during its premiere. So Cheetah Girls was up there and like paved the way for all these things. So shout out to Cheetah Girls. People watching Disney Channel loved this movie. Reviewers, not so much. It does have a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, so shout out to that. It's like our highest rated movie, but it has very few reviews. So it's like, I think the people passionate about Cheetah Girls are the ones reviewing it, so it's pretty high. That said, at the time the movie came out, Variety reviewed it, which I thought was weird for, you know, a teen movie that's on Disney Channel, but they did. The review was pretty negative, so I'll just read you like the main read of it.
That's literally because like the 25-year-old at Variety was like, why the hell are you having me watch this tween movie right now?
And low key, probably at the time, the person was probably in their 40s, I bet, because like media used to be like older than it would be now. Like I bet now it would be a 25-year-old reviewing it and they'd probably be like, it's sick, but then it was probably an older person, I would bet. They said the Cheetah Girls, the latest in a battalion of original movies from Disney Channel, aspires to be a culturally diverse morality lesson disguised as musical fantasy. Instead, it's a diva training film with a plot about as memorable as a Kelly Clarkson pick, which I was like, what does that even mean?
The Kelly Clarkson movie that came out after American Idol, probably.
Oh,
I never. Justin Guarini.
We should watch that next week. I've never even heard of that. I'd never even heard of that.
Yeah, they did the two finalists from the first season of American Idol did a movie together.
Like a real movie? Like a fiction?
I don't know if it. I don't think it did well.
Well,
according to this man at Variety, it definitely didn't do well.
I don't know if it's a man.
I'm just assuming.
No, but yeah. The pick is all about the hair, the look, the attitude. And like hungry cheetahs on the prowl, teen audiences will probably eat it up. And they did. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Nom, 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 nom.
She went on to kind of like, you know, be like, the direction was bad. The music is super dramatic and bad. Da 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 da. Like the choreography's fine. The costume designer must have had fun. Like she's very like they very much have like a tone in writing this. They do give positive reviews to Raven and the woman who plays her mom, which, same.
Yeah.
Obviously now
that's kind of crazy. The thing about the direction, because I was literally thinking, I was like, this movie is like a good movie.
It's like a real movie.
Like at one point I was like, this is playing out like a real, like it's not like cinema, but it's like it's playing out like a real story. Like it's not like hokey or anything like a lot of Disney Channel movies are. It's like legitimate.
I was thinking that because I was like, to me this is better than Xenon. Like I loved watching Xenon and it was fun and I do like that movie, but like the story and like it just feels more like there's just more to it, I felt like.
So Emily doesn't like fantasy or space travel or sci-fi, like whatever.
No, I love Xenon. But it just felt like, I don't know, I could like get into these characters a little more. And I also think it's probably because they're older. So
no, I don't agree. They're just different genres. Like Xenon is sci-fi. This is like more girly pop. Which is rom-com vibes with that unexpected kiss at the end. I was like, ugh.
We'll discuss. I think I like this because they're older, and I also I think like Xenon was just giving me more icks than this did. So okay, now let's get into. Oh wait, just that's all to say. This movie is a cult classic. Women in their 20s love it.
Women in their 30s love it.
Women in their 30s love it. Like it inspired the gals to proceed the way we have. I'd like to pause and just say something, actually. Like, because I was obviously thinking about this as I was watching this. So, I was a big fan of Cheetah Girls. We were also big fans of watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. At the time all these Cheetah Girls movies were coming out, Rob Kardashian was dating Adrienne Bailon, who plays Chanel. And I was just thinking about it through the lens of me and Kylie Jenner are the same age. Or like a year apart.
Was she like stoked to be?
Just like how crazy it must have been to have Chanel, Chuchi coming to your house with your brother at the time the Cheetah Girls, like this is around the time like 2 and 3 were coming out when they were dating.
That's so
just
true.
Like how sickening that must have been. Like I feel like watching the show at the time I was like, haha, yeah, like whatever. But then when I was watching the movie, thinking back on it and like how iconic this movie was to me, I was like, oh my God. And I remember they used to say on the show like, she's a cheetah girl, and like they'd get so excited, and I
know. Now I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder if like you went back and watched it now, like if Kendall and Kylie are like.
I think I remember the episode like when they meet her, when she comes over for the first time, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Exciting. Aww.
And it's like, yeah, like I was just thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, like if I was a kid and that was happening, I would be just like over the moon. I'd be so excited. So yeah, Kylie and Kendall were having a big time when Adrienne Bailon was around. Now, let's get into how she got made. Bling, bling. Okay, we're going to talk about the filmmaking and the production BTS of the movie. Like I said, first Disney Channel musical. Shout out to that. It's based on a book from the 90s, a book series by an author, Deborah Gregory. The movie was directed by Oz Scott, who also directed, which this is a movie that recently came into our lives, and I can't remember how, because I was like, what the hell is this? Mr. Boogedy? Mr. Boogedy?
I don't know what that is.
We talked about this. I can't remember why. I feel like we were like at a thrift store or something and they had it. Mr. Boogedy or Boogedy, like the boogeyman, I think.
Huh.
Yeah, and you had said you kind of knew it, you thought. Okay, so I put that in there. The most iconic piece of trivia about this movie is it was produced by Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
Shout out. Who also
Shout
produced out. Princess Diaries. Did the filming...
And Cinderella with Brandy.
Well, duh, of course. Her biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
Next week on the pod. Okay.
Literally.
Did the set look familiar to you?
No.
They were filming in Toronto, where Maggie used to live. This is
Love.
not NYC. Okay.
Oh shit! Now I want to go back and pay attention.
I know, because I thought it was New York.
Me too.
I was like, yeah, this is New York.
I
They did a
literally
great
was
job.
like, wow, they had budget to go film in New York City.
I know,
Go off.
and I was thinking, I was like, this movie is especially iconic because what other Disney Channel original movie is in New York? Like Eloise at the Plaza, but that's kind of different. That's not really a Disney
That
Channel.
one's like so in New York. Like that's so in New York that they go to Toys R Us Times Square.
Yeah, which Maggie hates.
I do.
Okay, just quick background. Costume designer was Risa Mackinac. She did her biggest one with all the cheetah. Choreographer was Troy Little. And the composer was John Van Tongeren, who made all the songs. So good job to him. He made a hit.
I wonder if the costume designer worked on That's So Raven.
Oh, that's
Because I was noticing that some of the silhouettes that Raven was in, I was like, that looks like stuff she would wear on That's So Raven. I wonder. But I didn't look it up. Let's see. Well, when I type in Cheetah Girls costume designer, the first thing that comes up is about the mom in the movie.
That's funny.
Like, what was her name?
Risa Mackinac. Mcconaghy. Mackinac? Wait, yeah. Am I okay? I don't know how you say that name, actually. What was I saying?
Mackinac. How do you spell it?
I think I'm just like going off of the letters that I see and coming up with a word. Mcconaghy. Mackinac, actually? I was trying to say Matthew McConaughey.
MCC what?
Onaghy.
Onghy. McConaughey?
Probably. Yeah, the costume designer for Raven was a woman named Nancy Butts Martin.
Yep, so it's not her.
Okay. Moving on. We'll talk about the costumes later because I have more to say.
Okay.
The soundtrack of this film peaked at 33 on the Billboard 200.
That's crazy.
It went double platinum, selling 2 million copies, and it's one of Walt Disney World Records' biggest sellers ever, on par with High School Musical. Okay. A little bit of inspo for this movie, like the time period we're in. We're in 2003. It's Y2K vibes. It's sparkle. It's cheetah. It's butterfly clips. We're in the girl power era. So obviously the Spice Girls have become like global sensation, and we're in girl group territory. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, Destiny's Child is like everything, doing their biggest one. Girl power has become like, quote, a marketable concept is what I was finding in my research. Like girl power is the thing. And a little bit of interesting background is Adrienne Bailon and Keely Williams were in a girl group together called 3LW, and then they were cast in this movie. So there was like, a bit of history there already. Then in our casting almost, interestingly enough, with Destiny's Child, Solange Knowles was originally cast as Aqua, but she dropped out because she was doing her solo album. So then they got Keely Williams, who had auditioned for Galleria, Raven's character, and then she was cast as Aqua. Then they had a little bit of change in the movie because Aqua is supposed to have a twin sister, which would have been interesting with Solange. I wonder if they would have been like Beyonce, like, yeah, because you guys do it together. Yeah. But so they cast Keely Williams. They couldn't find a person to play her twin. They had pitched Tia and Tamara a lot for the roles, but they were like, they're way too big and like too sophisticated to do the roles. So they just cut the twin, which I feel like is the right call, because I feel like it would have been distracting to have like the 4 girls and then like one of them also has a twin that's in it a lot. Like, that's kind of weird. So
yeah, I guess so. There must be a twin in the books.
Yes, the twin was in the books. Okay. Now let's get into our Girl Be Serious segment. You kind of already touched on this. I think the biggest Girl Be Serious in this whole movie is Raven's behavior as Galleria. Galleria is on a mission to bring the Cheetah Girls to stardom, but Girl Be Serious, she's so drama. She's so drama about the Cheetah Girls. And these girls are supposed to be freshmen in high school. They're supposed to be 15. I know them. And Raven is like, you have to commit your whole life to this. You can't do anything else. We're going to become international pop stars at 15. She is just on these girls' asses the whole movie, and it's so intense. And a question I thought of as I was thinking about that this would be the Girl Be Serious, like someone, they're telling each other, they're like, you need to intervene, you need to say something. Like, they keep telling Chanel, like, you need to talk to her because you guys have been friends forever, whatever. She doesn't talk to her, all this stuff. I was thinking about it. Do you think, because, okay, this is what I was really Girl Be Serious-ing about, is when Galleria decides to abandon the Cheetah Girls, basically, when they get the Jackal Johnson deal. She's like, if you guys want to do it, like, you do it, I'm gonna leave. Like, you don't need me. Whatever. In the real world, like, obviously Galleria would have gone on to have a solo career. Like, that's probably what would have happened from all of this, but that aside, I'm just thinking about this from the perspective of, like, they have to be talking in person to handle these conflicts or to address the conflicts or to have Raven, like, bring up conflicts. Like, it's all happening in person. Do you think the Cheetah Girls would have been destroyed even more or earlier on had they had cell phones?
Oh, yeah, there would definitely be, like, the Cheetah Girls, not Galleria group chat. Like, you know?
And there probably was behind the scenes. That's probably part of the clickiness.
So you're talking that your Girl Be Serious is, like, Raven's, or, like, Galleria's attitude about the Cheetah Girls and, like, how she's so drama and, like, she's making them, this has to be your whole life, blah, 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 we're gonna be pop stars. Well, at first I was like, God. But then when I'm, like, watching it, I'm like, but it's working. Like, they are getting offered a deal. So y'all need to shape up and, like, I feel the problem is you're dealing with freshmen in high school. Stupid. Like, why do they have to be freshmen? Because I'm like, okay, so, and it's winter time. So, like, it's the beginning of freshman year. So I'm like, 6 months ago, you were in 8th grade. Like, make them, like,
they should have been, like, seniors.
Like, juniors in high school. Like, they got one more year, and then they're going to go off. Anyways, when they're, like, all upset, and they're just, like, drama about how Raven's acting, I'm like, oh, there's the, like, 13-year-old attitude. And I'm like, and then Raven is definitely, like, on a different level. Her character's on a different level, trying to get this handled. And I'm like, if y'all would follow her, it would get handled. Because she's making it happen. She's making the money move. She's, like, writing her songs every night, recording the demos, making the artwork, writing lyrics. Like, what are y'all doing? She got a new song every night.
Something we're going to talk about later is Galleria versus Cheetah Girls. I think a lot of it is Galleria putting Galleria first for the Cheetah Girls kind of thing. And if that's the right move or not. But at the end of the day, Galleria's doing all the work. It's her songs. It's her ideas. She's leading the meeting. She's doing all this stuff, which maybe other girls are trying to be like, well, we want to be a part of it too, which like, great, do it. But they're not doing as much as her. She's putting in all the effort. And like you said, it is working. Like, her songs are getting them awards. Her songs are getting them freaking record deals. Like, a record deal that they shouldn't take, but
yeah,
it's happening.
Like, her hard work got them the meeting with Jackal Johnson, a big maca producer. But it's also like Galleria is doing her most, but like she's putting herself like in the like big picture on the cover of their album and being like, I wrote the songs, but she's never being like, I want to be without the Cheetah Girls. You know, she's not
she
like,
wants to be a Cheetah Girl. Yeah.
So she's just super hyper focused and intense.
I think the friend intervention that needed to happen is they all four needed to sit down and talk. Like, they never really, like, until the very end did they sit down and talk. Had they had like a meeting to really discuss all this together, I mean, I guess they're talking at lunchtime, but they're never like voicing any of this to Galleria. Like, they're telling Chanel behind Galleria's back, and it's like, well, no, just bring it up and let's talk about it. That's why I think the phones would have made it even worse, because they all would have been talking shit about each other.
Oh yeah,
on the texting each other. Yeah. Okay. Now it's time for the Sisters' Choice Awards. Bling, bling, bling. Okay. First up, She Ate. For this category, I am simply nominating the girls. And I think truly who I'm nominating are Galleria and Chanel. Do you have thoughts on the two girls?
They're obviously the most interesting ones to look at.
Totally.
In Kardashian lingo. I have always felt like that.
I think they set up the movie to make you love and know Raven and Chanel, or Galleria and Chanel the best. Like, we see their apartments. Well, we see a little bit of Dorinda's home life, which is like her big story.
Yeah, we never even see Aqua. Like, any of her stuff.
I think you see her parents for like a clip at the end, but like not really. When they save Toto, which is iconic. But I think we're supposed to know Chanel and Galleria the best. Like, we have the biggest backstory, and they've been together. They've been friends since they were little, and they formed the Cheetah Girls. So like, we already start the movie being like, we've added these two new girls to the group. Like, yeah. So I think we're supposed to already be like more attached to them, and then like, as the movies go on too, they focus on the other girls for sure, but I think like in the second movie we get the sense the group is still more about like Chanel and Galleria, and then in the third movie it's like Chanel is now the leader of the group. Upon rewatch, like, I'm a Raven girl. I've always loved Raven. That's a Raven and That's a Raven and Hannah Montana are the two best Disney Channel shows ever. Period. There's no argument to be had there. Raven is iconic. Everything she does is so funny. She's an incredible actress. She should be in more. I think she's so beautiful and so cute in every outfit she wears. Like, I'm a Raven girl. I will say, upon this rewatch, like, I was like, Adrienne Bailon, what? I was like, oh my god. I was like, she is acting. Like, I was like, yeah,
when she's crying to her mom at the end,
she was making me cry.
Yeah,
I was like literally cry. I had just gotten a lash lift, so I was like trying not to cry because I was like, I'm gonna fuck up my lashes when I was watching this. And I'm looking at her right now. She's gorgina. Like, she's so beautiful and glowy and flawless in this movie. Her singing chops are crazy. Cheetah Girls. Like, where did that come from? She can just riff it up like off the cuff. Not even like no synthesizing to her voice. Of course Rob Kardashian was obsessed with her. She's gorgeous. She can act. She can dance. She can sing. I was like, Adrienne Bailon is the sleeper hit of Cheetah Girls. Like, yes to her being in the reboot. She's gonna eat it up.
Yeah.
She was so good. So she Raven will always eat forever and always. Everything that she's in, Raven is the star and Raven ate. On this rewatch, Adrienne Bailon ate.
Yeah, she did. She's so good. Like, when I think of her, I'm like, she's enchanting. Like, I'm just like, when she's on the screen, I'm just like, oh.
No, I was just like, I didn't know this about you. Like, I didn't remember this. I wasn't like feeling this, and now I'm just, and like every outfit she wears is so cute. Like just everything about her. And that's the other thing about this movie that I think stuck with me is I was like, it's all good acting. To me, it's all good acting. Like, I know it's like corny, but I was like, this is better acting than a lot of Disney Channel movies. Like, even the parents. Like, the parents are doing really good acting.
Well, then that made me think, too. I was just like, oh, this writing feels like it's still for kids or, like, young people, but it feels a little more sophisticated. And I think that's not the full direction Disney goes in because some of the stuff is still, like, super slapstick on the Disney Channel. Yeah. But, like, I feel like this story is more sophisticated. And it could be, like, the book. The book might dive into some more sophisticated stuff, too. I don't know. But, yeah. Like, I just feel like the writing was really good.
And I feel like comparing it to Xenon and Tower of Terror, honestly, like, the adults are written... Like, I feel like in those two movies, the adults are written to be funny to kids. Yeah. You know? Like, the adults are, like, really, like the dad and the uncle in Tower of Terror. Like, they're really, like, quirky and, like, slapstick and, like, saying these, like, weird bits and stuff. And it's, like, it doesn't really land. These parents, I'm like, that's, like, a real parent.
Well, like, that's just written, in defense of Tower of Terror, I think that's the point of
that's the point of the movie. That's,
like,
so,
he, like, is a kook.
Xenon is a better comparison. Like, the parents in Xenon were, like, I didn't like them. And the dad, I think, was supposed to be, like, this, like, funny, whatever, quirky character. This movie, I was just, like, I can see, like, these being our parents or, like, my friend's parents. Like, I don't know. It just felt more like, Okay. Yeah. Now, okay, so who's your winner?
My winner, definitely Raven and Adrienne. Also, costume designer ate up with all the cheetah stuff everywhere. I do have one conflict with one of the cheetah outfits, but not thinking about the conflict. When they're auditioning for the talent show and they have like their cheetah and white outfits on, and they all are like different silhouettes. Like Raven has on white pants and a like long cheetah shirt tunic thing, and then Keely has on like the big poofy skirt that moves really nice when she's dancing. I was like, look at all these costumes, they're so fun. And these girls are leaning into being the Cheetah Girls. They said everything we have is cheetah print. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's so fun. Wait, what's your conflict that you had?
My conflict is at the end when they all show up to save Toto from the manhole or whatever that's happened. Like, so...
I think I know what you're going to say.
Raven and Keely have the same cheetah print. And then Dorinda shows up with like an orange cheetah print that's like... The cheetah print of it is like different. And I'm like, but for why? And then Adrienne Bailon shows up and hers is different. And I'm like, why didn't you just get this same fabric printed in all the colors differently? Raven's pink and Keely's blue are like exactly the same cheetah print, just in pink and blue. And then the orange one, it's like orange and purple and red. And I'm like, And then the purple one, I can't remember what it was, but it was like purple and pink, I think. I'm like, why wasn't it just exactly the same?
See, I thought you were going to say something about Raven and Adrienne's being, like, kind of similar in tone. I think I didn't notice it as much. Maybe those colors just pop with, like, the added colors to it. But also, I don't mind it because they do, like, even in the Cinderella scene you were just talking about, like, they do have, you know, slight variations on each other. So maybe they were just trying to keep it in that vein of, like, these girls have such personality that they're always a little different, even though they're all in cheetah.
It's giving lazy to me. Okay. No, but
so like, that didn't eat for you?
No.
Okay, but
if they'd been exactly the same, it would have been like, look at them.
To me, it looks exactly the same when I watch it, but I know when you look closely, they are different. Okay, she ate. Shout out to Raven and Adrienne. They did their biggest one. Adrienne, like, wow, you have a fan in me, girl. You did incredible in this movie.
I know, like, why isn't she, like, in Hallmark movies?
It's a good question. She should be in stuff. She's gorgeous. Like, I'm looking at her right now. I'm like, what the frick?
I feel like
you
she
look
would
amazing
eat on the Hallmark Channel. Like, her and Gretchen Wieners, like, they would be, like, toe-to-toe. Like, pumping out content.
She I don't even know. I'm looking at the movie right now. Like, she was acting in this movie.
Yeah, I like her.
She elevated the movie. She really, I'm obsessed with her. Okay, next up we have the vibes were immaculate. So basically this is our category that's like scene, moment, line in the movie that is just absolutely perfect. Chef's kiss, wouldn't change a thing. The vibes were immaculate. We remember it forever. It's just iconic. Okay? So we have 3 finalists. First up, you just discussed this, the audition scene when they perform Cinderella. Nothing hits like that. Then we have Girl Power, Girl Power. I basically chose the top 3 music numbers. So Girl Power when they're performing for Jackal. And then
that part is crazy when they're like, let's talk about music. And she's like, yeah. And stands up and hands him her CD. And she's like, bump this. And I was like, what is happening? They are so crazy.
They're 15. But it's like, go off. Confidence, man.
They're so funny.
That just like brought up something for me. I'm just going to say this super quickly. In the second movie, they are going to Barcelona to perform in this or compete in this music competition. And they're not in the competition, but Adrienne, her character, has to go to Barcelona for the summer with her mom. And so the other girls are like, we want to go. Let's join this competition. And so they call the competition and they're like, girls, we've had the people in this competition for months. Like, you had to audition months ago. And they're like, we'll audition right now. And they start singing into the phone. And then the person's like, great, you're in. And it's like, wait, what? No, that's insane. And then they have to actually audition again when they get there because the competition's like, well, maybe we shouldn't let you in based on that. But they sing over the phone, which is hilarious. Okay, those are your 3 options for the vibes were immaculate. What I will say, the final scene is so good. I started crying again when I watched it today. When they're all dancing in sync and they're singing about the Cheetah Girls, I'm like, you know what? This is good TV to me. I don't give a shit if people have shit to say about this. I think it's fucking awesome. And then I put the girl power scene in here because I was like, this is a music video. This is actually how music videos used to look. Like the zooming in and the quirky side angles, whatever. I was like, every music number they do in this movie is filmed like a music video, and I think it works really well, and I like the way it looks. Too. So that's why girl power is in it. My number 1 forever and always will be Cinderella. The fucking lyrics bang. That song goes hard. Their outfits are crazy. The dancing is good. The singing is immaculate. The vibes were immaculate. Just everything about that one is perfect, and I personally love that song and still listen to it. So that's that.
Yeah, I think that's the winner for sure.
But I think for the history of the Cheetah Girls, the final scene where they're in the sweatsuits and they're singing the Cheetah Girls song is pretty high up there.
I'm gonna still say Cinderella. I feel like would be the winner no matter what, because even when it was coming on the Disney Channel, Disney Channel would show music videos and they would always show that one.
Yeah,
at least in my memory.
That's probably why they filmed the movie the way they did, because they were able to use all of these scenes as music videos to play on Disney Channel, which worked really well. I agree. I think it's Cinderella. Okay, moving on. The outfit that paid rent. So this is the best costume outfit from the movie. Sticks in our head. We want it kind of thing. So I have 2 very similar pitches for this. I have the costumes during the Cinderella scene. I have the iconic sweatsuits, obviously. And then I said, which is That's So Raven adjacent, every single coat that is worn in this movie. This movie is a masterclass in coats. Every coat is so good. It's the leather with the fur fringe trim. It's the colorful coats. It's just everything is coats. So those are my pitches.
Yeah. I'm going to throw in Chanel's shopping outfit when she buys the cheetah print vest, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's all purple, I think, as the skirt with the big poofy jacket and the tights and headband. Love that fit. And that's one of the ones I always remember.
And she's wearing, I did almost put this in there, she's wearing a skirt, a little denim skirt or mini skirt, and it's stripes of different fabrics of animal prints. It's like zebra, cheetah, leopard, and it's just like, I was like, wait, I want that skirt.
And something I also noticed, like, on my rewatch last night was, so how I was talking about in the Cinderella scene when
So
Raven has, like, that tunic on. It's, like, a high neck, long sleeve, and, like, it, like, triangles down her thigh. So it's, like, regular shirt on one side and then, like, I don't know what you would call that.
Like
and
asymmetrical.
Yeah, like that. So I was like, that silhouette seems like
Raven.
your Raven. That looks like Raven to me. And I'm like, I wonder if this is a Raven herself, like picking out stuff or being like, this is what I like on me kind of thing. But also at the end when they're in their sweatsuits, she has like something on her waist. Like that's part of the pants or something. I couldn't really tell, but it's like the same like velour fabric, but it creates that triangle and it had fringe on it. So it was like a little sweatsuit skirt on top of her pants.
I saw that. It was like a little like wrapped scarf situation. Yeah, I think she just really likes that silhouette.
Love that for her.
She's iconic. What did I just see? Raven's getting a star?
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, hang on. She posted on Instagram. Hang on. Is she a Disney legend? I don't think she is.
I don't think she is.
I know people want to like, and I'm obviously biased. People want to compare Miley and Raven, and I'm sure there's so many people out there who would be like, Raven should have gotten it before Miley. Miley has had such a bigger Disney career.
I think
after.
Yeah. I don't think that comparing Raven and Miley makes any sense. Like, Raven is Raven and Miley is Miley. Like, they've had their own trajectories. Like, their Disney Channel career wasn't even the same.
I think when Raven said the thing of, like, who's your Disney Mount Rushmore, and she was, like, didn't say Miley, I think that got people fired up to talk about it. And I'm like, I don't think
that Miley would even enter her conversation because Raven's older. Like, she did not experience Miley the same way you experienced Miley.
I know, but I don't think you can say a Disney Mount Rushmore without Miley. I think it should be Raven, Miley, and whoever.
See, the
else
problem is like me being a little bit older. If somebody asked me off the cuff and I didn't have any time to think, I don't even know if I would think about Hannah Montana because I didn't watch.
It's not even about Hannah Montana though. It's like Miley. Like it's just like Miley.
That's what I'm saying. Like Miley would not enter my head because I don't think about her. I would be like, oh, Lizzie McGuire, Raven, even Stevens. Like, that would be, like, what enters my head. Like, I wouldn't think about Miley.
That's so crazy.
I know.
And incorrect. Okay, Raven-Symoné is getting her Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Good for her.
I guess. Alongside Keke
she's
Palmer.
Been a star since she was just a little girl. Tiny little baby. She was on the Cosby Show. And I saw that some beef that happened on the set of Cheetah Girls was Keely was like, I auditioned for that role on the Cosby Show too. Didn't get it. And Raven was like, I don't know.
Did you recognize Keely from House Bunny?
Oh shit! Now I do.
No.
I didn't.
She's the British one.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny because I was literally like, she seems familiar to me. Have I seen her in other stuff? And I was like, I must just be thinking of this. But yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah. Okay, so for outfit that paid rent, what do you think it is? I think the final winner is the sweatsuits. I'm
going to go with the Cinderella outfits just because it's like so cheetah-licious.
Yeah, cheetah-licious. Cringe Pete.
And
speaking of cheetah-licious, go ahead.
No, and I have mad beef with the different cheetah prints in the jumpsuits, the tracksuits. So if they had all been the same, sick. I'm just like, why? Why can't they be the same?
I love the way they look though, and I love the little head wraps. So cute.
That'd be like it just makes me think. Like if I worked in costume, like at Disney when I was in costume design, and we would be like, okay, we're gonna make this print for all these different characters, but they're gonna be the same. So it's like, we're just going to change the colors and then send them off to sublimation to get printed. Like, we wouldn't be like, actually, like, these are going to be the same. And, like, this one, like, let's add, like, 3 extra colors to it. Like, no! Ugh.
I'm looking at this part right now. Okay, yeah, Keely and Raven are the exact same.
It feels to me like...
Yeah, the jackets are different because Keely's has a stripe down it.
Well, yeah, I noticed that their suits are different, but it's like they're all supposed to have like that headband. And it just feels to me like they went to the freaking garment district and bought like fabric, and they couldn't find, like, this stuff wasn't printed for the movie. It was something that was sourced, and they couldn't find all these other colors, so they got something close to it, which is annoying.
Adrienne Bailon is so cute. Okay, so we'll give it to the Cinderella part. Now, speaking of Cheetah-licious, let's get into our cringe peaks. The cringiest, most ickiest worthy moments of the film. I'm going to pitch every time they say a cheetah-related phrase. I enjoyed it, but I know it was giving you the ick, and it's Xenon adjacent with all the star, space, galaxy-related slang. So that's up there. Then I put every time Raven goes behind their backs and does something, such as, not really goes behind their backs, but every time she does something that's a little like, girl, come on. When she, speaking of that, every time they say girl was an ick for me. They said girl so much. They'd be like, girl, you just don't get it, girl. Come on, girl. I was like,
man,
girl.
I say
serious.
girl a lot, so I don't know.
It was so much. Like, Adrienne Bailon would say it, and it would be like capping the sentence. Like, girl, da-da-da-da-da-da, girl. And I was like, girl, come on.
Girl, be serious.
Girl, be serious. And then... Okay, so Raven, every time she does something a little sneaky, like when she's like, I'm the founder, I write all the songs, when she puts herself on the cover, when she tries to leave the meeting and is like, the Cheetah Girls are out, and they're like, wait, we don't know. You know, she is the leader of the crew, but I think it's just a little, her drama of leading the crew is a little icky.
Yeah.
And then my final cringe peak is the we go all around the world scene when they pitch them with the masks. And the pitch
Dorinda is a panda.
She's like, how does it look?
She's like,
she goes, Doe, take that off.
Doe, take that off. She's so funny. I'm Team Raven. Okay, so I have two from my cringe peak. The first one is Galleria, when Drinka, the drama teacher at the school at Manhattan Magnet, she's so cute. I like Drinka. But
I love Drinka.
And like when she comes out and she's talking about like her hit in the 80s, like about champagne. They're all enjoying it, and then all of a sudden Raven's kind of like,
okay,
like,
Drinka.
Like, this is embarrassing, and she kind of calls her out. I'm like, Galleria.
You would love that. Galleria would have loved that. Also, Drinka is so funny because she's like, I will survive at the one part, and then later in the movie she's like, you know, I heard it through the grapevine. And I'm like, she's saying all these like songs of her Jen, which is so
I love
cute.
Drinka.
Drinka paved the way for Mrs. Darbus in High School Musical. Just putting that out there.
And then there's another scene with Drinka and Galleria. I think she's like, can't miss my chance because like you only get one shot or something. It's like kind of like tearing Drinka down a little bit, and they're all like, damn. So I thought that was very cringe. So any like almost every situation between Galleria and Drinka is cringe because Galleria was a little bit too harsh. And then I don't know if this is controversial, but the dance scene when she's like got into like the dance class is so cringe to me because, and it's confusing. It's cringy and it's confusing because apparently Sabrina Bryan has like a dance background, but like they're not showing her dance. Like they're like when they're showing like the people like getting down and stuff on the ground, she's just like in the back like slatting, and then she does do like a gymnastic type flip at one point. I do think it was her. Like I was like, oh, I think that's actually her doing that.
She does when she did the like cartwheel and stuff. That's her for sure.
And she's just like ha ha, like she's making all these noises and like doing her hands, but she's not dancing, and I'm so confused.
I think that was just like very much the style of dancing at the time.
But they never show her legs, and like everybody else is dancing, and they're only showing her from the waist up. So I'm like, what kind of dancer is she?
I think she's a hip hop dancer.
I feel like I don't know. I'm just like, why aren't they showing? Because they're showing everyone else like going hard. I don't know. It was weird. So it kind of gave me Cringe peak vibes.
Yeah, she's trained in ballet, jazz, tap, and hip hop.
You know what I was thinking? That's interesting. I was like, I wonder if they're not showing her doing this hip hop class because she's like a classical dancer. And I was like, that would almost make the story even more interesting because like if it was like her being a ballerina or something and she's part of this pop group, but it's like she's secretly like a classical ballerina, like Galleria would be like, girl, what the hell? You know, that would have been fun. I feel like
That's fun.
I'm rewriting the story. Or if she was in tap.
We'll talk about Doe a little more in a little. Okay. I think Cringe Peak segues actually into the Audacity Award. I think they can kind of like be in one big award this round because I have kind of what you said, which is Galleria, more of Galleria's antics when she takes away Aqua's hot sauce, when she talks to Drinka, like all these things, the audacity of Galleria in this movie, like
oh, I'm adding
crazy.
Another audacity for Galleria mistreating people.
Yeah.
When she, I'm like, Galleria, you have got to fucking chill. But I guess it's also like, she's just trying to make the band better. When she gives Dorinda the like outfit inspo pics or whatever, and she's like, I'm not taking these. And she's like, girl,
it's not an option. Or it's not a request or something.
I think it's like not an option or something. Galleria has absolutely zero chill. Like, I love her for that, but it's also like,
and Galleria has no idea what's going on in Doe's life. Like, and Doe's not being honest.
I guess these have to be new friends. Like, I know that they're like new to the Cheetah Girls, so I'm thinking like new as in we met each other 4 months ago at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
because I'm like,
I think
why
that's
would
right.
they know? And why would she not feel safe enough to tell her friends? Like, they have to be fresh friends.
I think she's very self-conscious about her home life, which like she shouldn't be. Like by the end of the movie, like I understand maybe why she is based on the girls she's friends with who have seemingly perfect home lives, but her foster mom is very supportive and like comes
I know,
at the
she
end
shows
and is like
up
so
and-
excited. I cried. I fucking cried. We'll talk about that in a little. I cried.
I know. And the mom. Ugh, yeah.
Also, another Galleria audacity moment when they're in the car on the way to meet with Jackal, and Galleria and her mom are running late, and she's like, I swear to God, if Doe is sitting there wearing the same clothes she wears every single day, I'm gonna freak out. And it's like, Jesus. And it's like the mom could have at that point been like, what do we know? Because like she did ask her before, she's like, what do we know about Doe? And she's like, well, all we know is that she has a sister. It's like, well, you guys aren't asking squat because what? That's all you know about her? But the mom could have like read into that. Like I feel like over time a parent would be like, she's wearing the same clothes every day. You know, like
fucking Galleria and her like the way Raven delivers lines. So funny. She's so fun.
She's hilarious. She's a comedy actress. Like she is
she's
literally
so
a comedian.
She's so good.
She's so good. She's like, I swear. Like she's so pressed. She's so mad.
yeah.
Okay, continuing on with the Audacity Awards. The boys, they have the audacity. They're chirping up Raven. They have full confidence. These boys actually didn't bother me. Like, I was just kind of like, this is funny. Like, they are confidently talking to these girls. They're just, like, doing their thing. Like, it wasn't giving me the ick. It was just, like, LOL. Like, these boys, they like Raven. Like, and
yeah,
what I liked about the boys, and I think this was another reason, like, of what I just said of like really liking the girls like banter and like relationship is anytime the boys would come up and talk, the girls are like, ooh, like when they walk away, they're like, oh, and then they're like getting into the conversation and stuff. And then like when they kiss at the end, like Doe, they show like Doe and Aqua and they're like, ah, like they're so excited. And I'm like, this is like peak girlhood. Like this is so cute of them. So like I felt like the boys gave the girls a little more of a runway to like be girls together. So I liked the boys for that reason.
Yeah. The boys, yeah, like they were just like, because at first I was like, are they the villains? Like, are they supposed to be like a foil to the Cheetah Girls? But they're like, no, they're just like other people at the school that they're into Raven. Except like the one thing that is not a cringe peak, but it did give me the ick was when Raven is, for whatever reason, like gone back to the school to like sing her sad song instead of like going home. She's like singing in the auditorium and then the guy shows up and he's like, that's a great song. Like, that's way better than that pop music that you're doing. And I was like, what the fuck?
Also, I was like, it's such a dumb thing to say because, like, the rest of the movies, it's, like, pop music. So, like, it doesn't really make sense. So, anyway. And then, 2 more Audacity. I know I had a lot of Audacity awards because I just felt like everyone had the Audacity in this movie. Jackal Johnson, Audacity of everything he does. It's so crazy. And then the girls kind of, like, when Raven is leaving the meeting and she's like, we're obviously not taking this deal with Jackal. Like, he wants us to lip sync. He wants us to wear masks. He wants us to change the whole vibe of the Cheetah Girls. The girls are so irritated with Raven at this point that they won't walk out with her. They're like, no, we should talk about it. Like, this could be a really good deal, whatever. The audacity of that is crazy. They know they're not going to take the deal. Leave with Raven and let's talk about the relationship things that we need to solve outside of this room. Let's not, like, make this part of it, you know?
I know. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, all of their issues leading up to this are why they're acting like this.
Yeah.
Like, they're mad about the other stuff with Raven, not what's happening right now, and that sucks.
And they don't want the deal either. They know the deal's a bad deal. So, okay. From that very long list, do you want to assign Cringe Peak and Audacity Award? I feel like Audacity, we can give it to Galleria. Like, she has the audacity this whole movie. And in a good way. I'm not even mad about it.
No.
Cringe was your... So, okay. Audacity Award goes to Galleria. And Cringe Peak...
The Cringe Peak...
Her talking to Drinka.
Yeah.
Or the boy.
I was still gonna say the dance class, because that just gives me cringe vibes. But maybe I'm in the minority here. Like, I don't know.
I feel like people probably like it. But maybe... I don't know.
I don't know. I'm like... I don't know. I think they did her a disservice. Especially if she comes from a dance background.
It doesn't bother me. I think, like, she gets her moment to dance a lot in the second movie.
Like, there's literally, like, parts where the men are, like, squatting down on the ground and, like, doing, like, I can't think of the word, but, like...
Like, breakdancing.
Yeah. And she's, like, just, like, running by everybody in the background. And then, like, gets to the other side of the room and is like, ha! And I was like, what? Everyone, like, there's no other people doing that.
Maybe, like, respectfully, she might not be as super professionally trained. So I think, like, they're trying to elevate her by having other really good dancers around her.
It's so funny, too, because the teachers are like, who's that? I'm like, the only reason you're seeing her is because she's the only one not doing the dance.
Well, low-key, I think, actually, you know what? I do agree with you partially because, like, when they dance as the Cheetah Girls, they're all dancing together. And they're all dancing pretty well. So, I don't know. Okay. Moving on to emotional support character. The character that did their big one in supporting our girls. So, okay, here's the thing. I have kind of emotional support character, which is one of our categories, and then background character, foreground impact as a separate category. But I think there could be a little bit of overlap here. So let's do them back to back, starting with emotional support character. I have Dorothea Garibaldi. She gets these girls in line. She's going to make sure this deal is okay. She's getting everything signed by her lawyers. She's making sure these girls are still having time to be teenage girls. Like, at points, I'm like, Dorothea, these girls are, like, about to get a record deal. You need to, like, let them get this deal. Like, we're doing this.
That was the one, like, part that I couldn't get on board with, was how she's standing in the way. When this is legitimate for these girls. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. And I think she finally sees that when the dad, the younger looking dad, did he look younger to you? I was like, what's happening? He looks a lot younger than his mom.
I feel like
I don't know. I was like,
I don't know.
Liz giving age gap.
Good for Dorothea.
Yeah, true. Also, Dorothea's slay. Her outfits are slay. Her hair, her glam. Like, she is so cute. Anyway. That was the only part she wasn't being, like, fully supportive. Once she gets on board, she's doing her damnedest to make sure everything goes correctly for these girls. And she's always there for Galleria. So I have Dorothea Garibaldi and then Toto. Toto is actually the ultimate emotional support character because he's the one that brings the girls back together.
Sure, true. You know, I just thought of this because it's like one of my favorite parts of the movie that has to do with Toto is in the beginning when Raven is late getting home to like, walk Toto. And then the dad is like, where are my capers for dinner tonight? So she forgot to go to the grocery store to get capers too.
In my brain forever. That part is in my brain forever.
And she's had like this argument with her parents about like her dreams or whatever. And then like her like aspirations, not like her sleepy time dreams. But
yeah, totally.
She just to clarify, she is like, okay, capers, let's go get some Totos. And it's so funny. And the parents start laughing. And I was like, oh my God, it almost looks like Dorothea is like really laughing. And I was like, I wonder if that was an off the cuff or like a rewrite or something, because that's so funny.
It's so funny. And I remember that part like from when I first watched this movie and like not like, fully understanding it probably as a kid. Because like
it's so cute and so just like that's like a legitimate like fun joke to say.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, I think that was really good too.
Okay, I'm adding my emotional support character. I guess my emotional support character is more background character, foreground impact, and that would be Drinka.
Okay, so I think for emotional support character, we should award Toto the award because he brings the girls together. Let's get into background character, foreground impact. My pitches were Drinka. Mm-hmm. She's obviously so good. And then someone who made me cry, which is Doe's little sister, who literally I'm going to cry again. When she goes, next time, can I be a cheetah girl too? And also, let's think about the little sister of it all. Beginning of the movie, Raven's mom is like, or Galleria's mom is like, what do we know about Doe? All we know is that she has a little sister. When Chuchi finally goes to Doe's house, the little sister comes out and she's like, Doe, are you coming to dinner? And she's like, yeah, I'll be right there. And she's so cute. And then at the end, she's like, Doe, can I be a cheetah girl next time too? Like, the little sister has big impact on Doe. And the little sister is so cute. So, okay. So my, like, she made me cry when she's like, next time, can I be a cheetah girl too? Okay, let's talk about that part at the end with Doe's foster mom. Because obviously Doe doesn't want to talk about her parents and her home life the whole movie and is like really self-conscious about it. And then we have this beautiful moment at the end when they come for like the family comes when Toto is locked in the hole or whatever. And then Doe finally is confident enough to introduce her foster mom and little sister to everyone. And she's like, this is my foster mom, Mrs. Bosco, and this is my little sister, and this is my family. And Dorothy is like, we need another cheetah mama in this jiggy jungle. And the like mom is laughing. They have this like sweet moment. I was literally crying. Cause I'm like, what the fuck? This is good.
I love that moment. Like she just immediately brings her in for a huge hug. And I was just like, ugh. Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And you know what? Like I think Doe's journey is like understandable. Like she is going to this like magnet high school that's like all these like artsy kids. They probably all come from like wealthy backgrounds. I think the three girls, it seems like the three girls are pretty well off. Like the three other girls are super well off, have their parents in the picture, which we find out that Doe's mom had abandoned her. So I'm like, yeah, a 15-year-old would be self-conscious about telling her like wealthy friends who have these amazing apartments and can buy all these clothes and do all this stuff for the cheetah girls, like, oh, my mom abandoned me as a kid. I live in a foster home with like 10 kids and like I don't live in like a high-rise apartment like you guys. Like I can see where she, like, of course she shouldn't be, but like I understand why in that situation she was self-conscious. And I just think like she had no reason to be. Like, those are her girls and they're gonna take care of her, and like the mom's gonna take care of the other mom. And like I just thought it was a really sweet ending. Like I think that part is what made me like Doe on this rewatch, because I was like, she has a nice story arc.
Yeah.
And the sister is so cute. And then just like, it's just so sweet. That was another moment that gave me an ick though, was when like we have this beautiful moment when Chanel, which shout out Adrienne Bailon again doing her big one, when Chanel goes to the place where she thinks Doe lives, and then it's like her foster dad is the super of the building, so they send her around back to where their apartment is, and she like learns this whole thing about Doe's background and meets her family a little bit, and is like, she had just gone there to check on her because she's like, Galleria was being such a bitch to you. I just wanted to come check on you. Like, she's such a good friend. And that was actually something I was going to ask you, like, who is the one you would be friends with? Because I would want to be friends with Chanel.
Yeah, me too.
I think Chanel's the best friend of the bunch. Like,
yeah,
consistently.
I think I'd probably be friends with Chanel.
Yeah. Raven would be fun, but I think you'd be on a roller coaster. So, anyway, she has this beautiful moment with Chanel, and then Chanel tells Galleria when she's spending the night at her house, and Galleria's like, oh, so she needs this more than any of us. And Chanel's like, no, she needs friends. What she needs is friends.
But like the way Raven says it, she's like so serious about it. She's like, guess she needs this more than anyone, huh? And it's like, why are you so drama? Like, just chill out for a second. I love her.
It's so good.
And like when she's like, I'm gonna go. Like when she's like leaving the meeting because she's like, and you really need this. And Dorinda's like, Jesus Christ. Galleria, like, shut up.
It's like the whispering. She gets even more drama in the second one.
Oh yeah, I saw Adrienne Bailon watching them sing, like, I guess probably like their finale performance or whatever in that movie when she's singing like Amigas Cheetahs, and she's like watching Raven, and she's like, why are we so serious? I'm like, yeah, why?
She's like, Raven's like, I went to Barcelona, and around every corner I found an angel, and it's like the guy's name is like Angel or whatever. It's like, what? Like the
and
drama
like,
of it.
Adrienne's like, why am I singing like that? Like, why am I moving my mouth like that? And it's like, because y'all are just like being drama. Like, it's just fun. It's camp.
It works. It's so fun. Okay, so on that note, who is your background character, foreground impact, Drinka or Doe's little sister? I think it's Drinka. But I wanted to throw Doe's little sister in there for how sweet she is. She made me happy. And then emotional support character, Toto. Okay. I really had a lot of categories for this one. Okay. Soundtrack slay. I'm just gonna pitch the best songs, all the songs in this movie. Cinderella, We Are Sisters, Girl Power, Together We Can, Take the Moon, Stop the Rain, Even Ride a Hurricane. Do you think we oughta? I was like, oh shit, I remember this song. That's not one I listened to, and now I'll be listening to it. I think probably the ultimate winner is We Are Sisters, We Stand Together, but also Cinderella will always be.
I think Girl Power is my winner, but I think the ultimate winner is the Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Sisters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Pinterest Board Award. This movie really had it all. Pinterest Board Award is like the aesthetics we love, scenes that were so Pinterest board worthy, sets that were Pinterest board worthy. I have 2 pitches for this: Chuchi's apartment and Galleria's apartment.
Oh, Galleria is so like, I couldn't even imagine what her Pinterest boards look like. They're like all cheetah. Like, it would just be so fucking crazy up in her Pinterest
Hot pink
world.
cheetah.
Like, oh my god. And it's like the way the set designers did these Disney Channel kids movies is so fucking funny. Because it's like, why is her bedroom like so freaking perfect? And why does she have like a neon sign that says Cheetah Girls? Like, how?
And Adrienne has it too. And this gave children and tweens unrealistic expectations for what their rooms could be.
Yeah.
Truly.
Like, you couldn't roll up to, like, Pier 1 Imports and be able to get this shit. Like,
you could now.
God. Well, no, you can't, because there is no Pier 1 Imports.
Oh. Well, I feel like kids now have, like, very cool rooms. And, like, they're super nice.
You can figure it out because you can go on the internet. Although, like, Pier 1 and, yeah, like, you could go get, like, that nice satiny stuff. But it's like, oh, my God, you didn't have the money, and you didn't have the know-how to how to freaking style a bedroom to be so perfect.
But I'm sure little girls everywhere were like, I want my room like that.
Also, like, shout out to Raven having a moody dark bedroom. I have a moody dark bedroom, and that was so not a thing.
The whole apartment is moody and dark.
Yeah. Fashion mogul Dorothea knowing how to style her townhouse in Manhattan / Toronto.
Did you did you have any pitches for Pinterest board?
I think the clothes are probably all Pinterest worthy.
Yeah.
Like Raven is doing her big one by making sure that her girls are curated as fuck. I wonder if Dorothea is supposed to be like the one making the clothes, or if they're buying them.
Oh, they should have had that be a part of it. I think Chuchi's apartment is my favorite. Like, I'm like, that apartment's sick. It's so like new. Like, I guess her mom was meant to be a model or something. It seems
I
like
think
her
so.
mom has like photo shoot pics everywhere. That apartment is sick. It's so like late 90s, early 2000s. It was giving like the apartments in the Carolyn Bessette
Oh yeah.
JFK Jr. show. Like, it was very that with like the chrome countertops and like I was like, I want this apartment. It's sick.
Yeah, and like the freight.
Like, it looks like
stuff.
a fucking Calvin Klein ad.
I think my Pinterest board winner would be the fashion. I think it's just like, I feel like also that's another way that things were advertised on the Disney Channel, was probably them being like Cheetah-licious, like saying all that in the ads, and then seeing these girls being wearing cheetah print the whole time. It's like, it really just set like a tone, and you're like, I gotta watch this. This is so like girly pop.
And I'm sure it did something to culture, like girls wanting to be an all cheetah all the time too.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean,
I realized,
and speaking of the Kardashians, like they were hella in cheetah print for a long time.
They were Cheetah Girls out.
Mm-hmm.
I realized we need to revisit the Audacity Award because I forgot a very important one that I wanted to pitch to you that I think can be in its own Audacity category. Two things up against each other. Chanel's mom ditching their shopping trip to go to the Broadway show with Luke versus...
I was like, what show? What show would you go see?
Yeah. What channel is it on? Versus Chanel maxing out her mom's credit card. Which is more Audacity? Who had more Audacity?
Well, I mean, the ditching out on your daughter's shopping trip is emotionally traumatizing.
After you, it was your idea. It was her idea.
Yeah, so like that lasts forever. And then
Emotional
maxing
impact.
out the rich mom's credit card, I was like, whoa, what did you buy? Because I was like, this isn't a $3,000 limit. Like, this is going to be like a $100,000 limit.
That
If
was
she's
my
like
question is, what do you think she spent? I said $10,000, but maybe you're right. Maybe it's more like 20, 30, 100. What'd she buy?
like a car? Like, what'd you
Also,
buy?
when she was like, I'll return it all. I was like, not the vest. You gave that to Doe.
And that
You'll
was probably
return
the most
most of it.
expensive thing.
Yeah, that was probably like a Poochie vest. It's like $20,000 or something.
Literally.
Not 20,000, but yeah. So the audacity of that, I just had to revisit. I thought it was so good. Okay.
I had another cringe speak that I thought of, and we can just
Yeah.
go through this really quick because I wanted to make sure I touched on it. When they are walking, when Adrienne and Raven are walking by Jackal Johnson's like studio in the beginning, the first time, and then they start dancing in front of it. Huh? And then the crowd stop and watch. I was like, no, it would not.
Also,
happen.
crazy that it's the two of them dancing. Doe does not get her time to shine. Finally, well, I don't even have options for this. The red flag that we ignored, it's Raven. Like, she's a red flag, but she isn't at the same time. Like, so it's fine. We're ignoring.
Yeah, like she's a red flag for a 14-year-old, but like green flag for somebody who's trying to like make their career happen.
Yeah, she's making it happen. Like, that's what we need. Finally, I'd like to end on Delulu, but make it cinema. The most unrealistic plot point that you happily accepted because it made the movie better.
Them not being able to get the dog out of the manhole.
It's Toto going into the manhole. Everything about it is unrealistic. This, I don't think, unfortunately, as much as I think it should, I don't think it would warrant like citywide news coverage that everyone happens to be watching.
It's a slow day in Manhattan.
And it draws such a crowd, and literally every single person in like wherever uptown Manhattan is coming to gather to see if Toto gets out. The fact that he's stuck and they can't get him out. We have police there. There's like helicopters.
Why
maybe
can't y'all get down there and grab him?
Why can't we get down there and grab him? And then they sing, and I'm like, what's happening when they're singing? He's jumping out. He's calming down to get him out. Like, I was like, what exactly is the singing doing? Like, it didn't make sense, really, but I think it's perfect. It's a perfect ending. It's exactly the way the movie should have ended. I think it works, and I'm not mad about it, but I do think I don't understand it.
It's so funny, like, the disgruntled police officer that she ran into, like, shows up, and then she's like, my dog is in a manhole, and then he's, like, not disgruntled anymore because he's pro-pet, and he's like, oh, and he, like, looks down, he's like,
pro-pet.
I'm gonna have to call for backup. I was like, you didn't even fucking try nothing. Like,
yeah, try, pick it up.
I feel like I could just, like, go around the orange cone and the, like, stanchions or whatever, and just, like, grab Toto. I was like, I need to know the logistics of where Toto's at. And then they're like, nobody can get him. They're like, we can't get him. I was like, is anyone going into the manhole? Like, what's happening? Like, because obviously work is happening around that area. So, like, I feel like nobody was trying hard enough. If I was
put
Raven,
something
I'd
in
be
there
like,
and
put me
scoop
in.
him up. Also, if he has a collar on, like, just grab. I know it's, like, not ideal, but grab him by the collar and get him out of there. You know? His collar came off?
I think his leash came off, so I don't know if the collar, like, came off too. I don't know.
However, Toto, obviously our emotional support character, Winner, he brings the girls together. Every single girl comes to be with Galleria as she's waiting to get Toto out. Like, these girls, they're together for life. Like, they're Cheetah sisters. They're looking out for each other. They're going to be there for Toto getting out of that manhole, and I think it's beautiful. Aqua takes the subway for the first time to get to Raven and the girls, which is a sweet moment. So Toto brings everyone together.
Toto
did his big one.
That's how they should have ended the movie, like how they ended Xenon.
Oh yeah,
Xenon,
Toto. That's perfect. I'm surprised they didn't, honestly.
No, Galleria would not have let that fly.
No, she has to be the ending.
Uh-huh.
Now, that concludes this week's Sister Choice Awards. Congrats to all of our winners. You all did your biggest one. There was so much to discuss with Cheetah Girls. Now, Maggie, I have to ask you, what's your final verdict on the Cheetah Girls?
I really enjoyed it. I almost want to watch the second one. I don't know if I've ever seen the second one. I don't know.
The second one is good. So I watched it and I was like, God, this is so good. The fashion's not as good. I think the first one does a lot better with the fashion, but basically the gist of the second one is that Chanel's mom, her man Luke, invites them to come to Barcelona for the summer, and Chanel is like, wait, I need to be with my girls. Like, we got Cheetah Girl stuff to do. So then they kind of like finagle away for the Cheetah Girls to come by being in this competition. And then they all go to Barcelona for the summer, but they all kind of get sucked in, except for Galleria. They all get sucked into like different things they're doing. So like, you know, like Galleria is working on the damn Cheetah Girls. That is what she's working on.
That's her priority.
Then Chanel kind of like meets another friend, and there's like some issues there. Aqua's doing like fashion design with Dorothea, and then Doe meets this guy who's like also a dancer, and they're like doing stuff together. And then Galleria is trying to work on the Cheetah Girls, and spoiler alert, they're there for a month and no one is giving Galleria the time of day to rehearse, so they're never rehearsing. So then Galleria's like, I'm leaving, and tries to go home, and then they like get her to not go home. So it's really good, actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I like loved it even more than I was expecting to, and it was as good as it was then. And I feel like other Disney Channel things I've watched like haven't quite hit as much. This really hit. I think the girls all look so cute. The outfits are cute. The acting is good. This plot is fun. The comedy actually made me laugh. I cried. Like,
no, yeah, I'm excited for a sequel. I'll be sat for the Cheetah Girls 4.
Yeah, so the reboot is going to be their daughters.
I saw that. I hate that.
Chanel,
I'm not even getting into it because I already complained about
like
this
that.
in a previous episode. Like, what if, I guess I am going to get into it, but what if they freaking made it and it's just about them?
I know.
We would all love it.
I know. I know. But they're trying to make something for the next gen, which we'll see if it lands for them. And on that note, I would recommend this movie to anyone. I love the Cheetah Girls. I thought it was so fun. I want to be more Cheetah-licious in my everyday life, and I'll be carrying that energy with me as I move forward.
Cheetah Girls.
The riffs are crazy.
So funny. I love them.
It's so good. Okay. Maggie, I'd love to know what we're watching next week.
Okay, so I had one movie in mind all, like, for 2 weeks. I was like, this is it. Or, like, a week and a half. I was like, this is the movie. But then last night, I realized it's another musical. So I scrapped that idea. Just to give our audience a break. Moulin Rouge.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. I was like, let's do Moulin Rouge. Because Emily and I just saw Moulin Rouge on Broadway. Shout out to Moulin Rouge.
So good.
So I'm going to pivot. We will get to that movie because it is one of the greats. But I have this other movie in mind to keep with the girlhood vibes of it all. And as we are starting to close out the summer, I feel like this is a good movie because it's also about the end of summer.
Wait, can I say something really quick? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to also note, Raven is our second person who's been in 2 of our movies. So we had AMC Strickland in Tower of Terror and Pretty Woman. Fucking icon. So weird that she's in 2 of the movies we watched. And then Raven was in Xenon and this. So I just wanted to say that.
That's
like,
so
what?
funny.
It's so random. Continue. Sorry.
I love that shout. No, okay. So this movie is all about girlhood. It's about the end of summer. Drum roll. Now and Then.
That was on my list. I was gonna do that next. I literally was thinking, I was like, okay, like Now and Then we're gonna have, sorry to the listener, I probably just busted your fucking eardrum. I'm so excited. I literally, Maggie, that was like on my short list. Like I was like, okay, sometime soon I'm gonna pick Now and Then.
Yeah, I feel like
I love that movie.
Time. And we were talking the other day about how much we love Rosie O'Donnell. And
the cutest.
She's obviously in Now and Then. And I was like, I love that movie. So we're going to do that.
And Christina Ricci.
Oh, yeah. All-star studded cast. We love them all. I can't wait to talk about it. Can't wait to watch it. So go watch Now and Then, dear listener. Get prepped for the next episode. We hope. And if you haven't watched Cheetah Girls, go watch Cheetah Girls because
it was so good.
It's good for the soul.
Cheetah Girls is better than expected. Xenon was like on par with what was expected. Cheetah Girls was better than expected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it has to be something with, as the Disney Channel became more mainstream and was being taken more seriously, the budgets were going up. Because Xenon was like at the beginning of the Disney Channel being like available to all like services. Like where before it was like a premium upgrade. So not everybody had it. So they weren't like making the movies for it and stuff, you know? Well, that is officially my timer going off, Emily. I'm going to see Hades Town in 30 minutes.
Way down, Hades Town. Way down under the ground.
So I'm excited.
Well, Maggie, I can't wait to talk next week about the iconic movie Now and Then, famously, maybe, partially filmed in Savannah. A little murky. Yeah. But we'll be back next week to talk about that, dear listener. We love you guys so much. Please send us any feedback you have, but be nice. And you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and our website at My Sister's Favorite Movie. And we'll be back next week. We'll see you at the movies.
Yeah. See you on the flippity flip. Okay, love you.
See you on the flippity flip. Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.